welcome to this session where we are going to talk about a right legal structure for startups. It is very important for every startup to follow the law of the land and also to know something about the legal structure and some legalities as well. So this presentation, this video will be discussing all about legal things that a startup must know and the common mistakes which startups make when setting about the legal structure and all. So without wasting much time, let's start. First thing is we will be discussing is the common legal mistakes. Usually it happens that in rush of growing your business, you end up ignoring some common legal issues that cost you heavy on time and money. Here are some of the common mistakes that can be avoided. These mistakes are being committed by some new entrepreneurs and startup founders, but this mistake you have to avoid so that you will not face any problem in future. First thing is the ambiguity in terms of agreement. Some problem or some differences in terms of agreement, which basically means an element of ambiguity in the terms of agreement between multiple shareholders may lead to consequence like co-founders leaving the organizations, difference on the rights and responsibilities, etc. Second issue is infringement of IP rights, intellectual property rights. In case of infringing upon someone else's IP rights, your business ends up facing immense damage to its goodwill, consequently leading to heavy monetary penalties and wastage of time in resolving the same. So is the infringement of IP rights. Third is non-disclosure of private policies. If you have an online presence, it is necessary to put the terms and conditions along with relevant privacy policies up on your website. It is must to build user confidence as well as to protect you from legal lawsuits by consumers in case of any dispute. So it is non-disclosure of privacy policies. Fourth thing is the appointment of inept legal counsels. Wrong selection of lawyers makes it difficult for firms to troubleshoot legal hurdles in their journey. This also leads to extra cost, especially when the lawyer is unable to deal with legal lawsuits. Formation of wrong entity. Selection of a wrong legal structure leads to trouble for entrepreneurs, either in form of high tax liability for the firm, recourse on personal liability of the owner in case of non-fulfillment of company's debt, etc. So these are the 5 main legal mistakes which startup entrepreneurs make, which basically they have to pay a huge amount of cost and time to solve these issues. So it is very important as a beginner entrepreneur to know a very deep information about all these things so that you are not going to make any mistakes in future. It's very important. These are the common legal mistakes which startups basically make. Now we are going to talk about under the Indian legal system. There are essentially 4 types of legal components that are available. First thing is the sole proprietorship, a business that is run by one individual with no distinction being drawn between the individual and the business. Means there is no difference between an individual, between the founder and between the business. Both are same. No distinction drawn between the individual and business. You are in business easily and have minimal fillings and compliance requirements. You in the business you can be very easily and you have to and there is less legal formalities. Talking about its pitfall, the individual is personally responsible for its business liabilities. You are personally responsible for all the liabilities of your business. It is also non-scalable given that it appears less professional when compared to other forms of entities. Means it is less professional. This is one type known as sole proprietorship. Then we have general partnership. In a general partnership, when more than one founder is there, while the time required for being operational is relatively less, similar to a sole proprietorship, you run the risks of an unlimited liability here. Remember, in a general partnership, you are running the risks of an unlimited liability here. A partnership deed is signed by the partners to create a general partnership. But however, creation of partnership deed is not compulsory, but it is favorable to create a partnership deed. A partnership deed is nothing but terms and condition, a statement between the partners. Okay. Then it's private limited companies. They are efficient and widely used. This type offers great accountability because of mandatory registrations and books to be maintained. A private limited company has mandatory registrations and books needs to be maintained. Through a company you can also seek investment against shares. Employees can also have stock options and there is no unlimited liability to worry about. There is no unlimited liability over here and employees can avail stock option plan as well. In a private limited company you are going to use the word PVT limited. We have seen many companies like that. Then we have limited liability company, a hybrid entity created out of both a company and a partnership. Remember, limited liability company, a hybrid entity created out of both a company and a partnership, combination of both. This entity has restricted liability costs to support the founders of the company. It is also administratively easier to manage as compared to a company. A limited liability company has it can be easily administered, and it has restricted liability to its founders and its partners as well. One thing I forgot to mention about private limited company is that private limited companies are different from its owners. It's written over here that there is no unlimited liability to worry about. It's different from its owners. Then next thing which you have is the entity registration process. First thing, for sole proprietorship, according to Indian Companies Act, there is no formal registration required for a sole proprietorship organization. You can decide on the name of the entity and you have to open a bank account simply. If you have these three things, you are good to go. Second, for a general partnership, it creates a partnership deed. You have to make a partnership deed. However, it's optional, but still it's favorable to make it. It includes capital contribution and profit sharing ratio, include the duties and powers of partners, incorporate the nature and place of business, register the deed if required. This is all about general partnership. For private limited companies, obtain a director identification number DIN, obtain digital signature certificate DSC, file name with the register of company ROC, draft memorandum of association MOA, the article of association AOA, submit all requirements, the documents to ROC. Basically, these are the things which are quite essential for a private limited company registration process. Then you're going to have limited liability partnership. You have to obtain a director identification number DIN, and you have to obtain a digital signature certificate DSC for a limited liability partnership. Then basically these are some of the things which an business have to keep in mind. So the journey of an entrepreneur is always full of challenges. We know it very well. So it's important to steer clear of some of them by identifying some key issues up front. First thing is the client location. Try to establish your office where your clients are located. However, if you are setting up an online business, then client's location doesn't really matter. First thing. Second thing is skill employee base. As you need to hire and retain a great pool of employees who would execute the work for you, it would be helpful if your location allows you easy access to them. Suppose you are living in such a place where you don't have skilled manpower, you will be facing troubles to manage workforce. So you have to your starter must be there in a place so that you can easily get employee base from there. Third, we have need of overseas setup. Setting up overseas offers you comparatively greater ease of doing business and access to global capital. It may be beneficial depending on the scale of operation and nature of your business. When your business is running very nice, you can go for overseas as well. So these are the things which are very essential for every startup. So this is all about this video. I hope that you have understood it. If you have any doubt regarding what I have said, you can simply leave a comment below and I will reply to your queries. Thank you. Have a great day.